Here's a clip shot on an iPhone. Compare that to this clip shot on the same phone but with an anamorphic lens attached. If you are like me, you are a casual creator and you are interested in iPhone filmmaking, using an anamorphic lens with your iPhone might be the easiest way to make the video you filmed look like a movie. Next, I will show you what awesome things you are going to get from the anamorphic lens, how to use it with your iPhone, and what you need to know when filming with it. An anamorphic lens horizontally compresses an ultra-wide scene onto your camera's sensor area. And then when you take the footage and stretch it out, you're going to get that signature ultra-wide aspect ratio. Compared to manually crop your 16:9 iPhone video, by using anamorphic lens, you are not losing any content on the top and the bottom of the frame. Instead, you are able to capture more things on the left and right and get a wider shot than before. What's even cooler is that you're gonna get those visual artifacts. For example, when a bright light hits the lens, it produces those iconic horizontal light streaks. Also, you get a softer focus and fall off over the edges with the unique distortions. It just provides a classic cinematic feel. iPhone's camera sensor is relatively small, so it's a little bit hard to see the bokeh. Otherwise, you might even see the oval bokeh, which is another signature of anamorphic footage. Many films we've seen are filmed with anamorphic lenses. In the past, in order to get this kind of style, you have to invest in professional camera and gear. But now, there are actually many anamorphic lenses available for your phone. That just makes it easier for us to play around and experiment a little. For example, this is an anamorphic lens from Freewell that I can use with my iPhone 17 Pro. If you have a different model of iPhone, you can use it as well. Right now, with the iPhone or even all the digital cameras, they all have super high resolutions. A lot of users are complaining about the overly sharp image, and they really have a strong digital video look. But with an anamorphic lens added, the image just suddenly gets more characteristics. You don't really need any efforts in post-production. All the demo footage you see today, I only added some color grading. I didn't add any special effects or something like that. They're all directly from the phone camera and the lens. I feel like it's especially good at filming scenery. Whenever you need to show a big scene, this lens will provide the super immersive experience. If you go check out the anamorphic lens by yourself, you might notice there are always two different choices, the 1.33x and the 1.55x. Those two numbers are the squeeze factors. The 1.33 is kind of the most common and versatile choice. When de-squeezed, it transforms your iPhone's 16:9 footage into a 2.35:1 aspect ratio, and it offers a great cinematic feel with minimal distortion. The one I'm having is the 1.55x lens. This one compresses the image even more, and after de-squeezed, you're gonna get an ultra-wide 2.76:1 aspect ratio. It provides a much more dramatic and epic look. It also looks old school because back in the 1950s and 60s, this format was always reserved for grand, spectacular Hollywood epic films. Many users might feel like the 1.55x lens is a little bit too wide and too dramatic, but with the new ProRes RAW Open Gate on iPhone 17 Pro, I feel like the 1.55x lens might start becoming more useful, because now you can pair it with the Open Gate mode. With Open Gate, you're gonna get the image from the full sensor, which is close to a 4:3 ratio. And after de-squeezing that more squared image, now, with a 1.55x squeeze, we actually get a more moderate widescreen. The ratio is closer to 2.17:1, and we are getting a super wide shot. It's even wider than the Open Gate itself. Now, let's see how to use an anamorphic lens with our iPhone. In order to get this Freewell lens to my iPhone, I will need to have a phone case with a 17mm lens mount. You just twist the lens onto the main wide camera of your phone. So the bottom one is the main wide camera on the Pro iPhone models. Then we'll need to use a third-party camera app to film anamorphic footage, because the native iOS camera doesn't have the function to de-squeeze our image. In the Blackmagic camera app, we just go to Settings, Camera, and over the de-squeeze option, we just select the squeeze factor of our lens. In my case, I will select 1.55. And now we can just start filming. You can choose to film it with Open Gate or without Open Gate. And also you can pick whatever codec you like. What's also really cool about this lens is that it allows you to switch the streak color. As you can see, it's currently in the gold color, but I can actually take out this gold module and switch with other two, the blue and the neutral. And then I'll have different colors with the light streaks. The gold color provides a really nice warm tones, and the blue one has a strong action or sci-fi feel. If you want a natural look, you can use the neutral one. You can also use this lens with filters, like a VND or something like that. It has a 58mm filter thread size. Now I want to talk about some best practices when using an anamorphic lens with your iPhone. First, I would recommend to turn off the stabilization in your camera app. If you are filming ProRes RAW Open Gate on your 17 Pro or Pro Max, there's no stabilization anyway. But if you are filming other codec, I would still turn the stabilization off because the unique compression of the anamorphic lens always kind of interfere with the phone's built-in stabilization. With it on, the image will likely get wobbles or jello effects at the edges, so it's better to turn it off over our camera app. But we can still apply some digital stabilization in post-production software. For example, this is my raw footage. As you can see, the shakiness is definitely there, but after applying stabilization in DaVinci Resolve, the image looks much better. The second best practice is that because the ultra-wide frame really amplifies any camera shake, even though we can still film everything handheld, to get a rock-solid and professional look, I would still recommend to use a tripod or a gimbal. In that case, we'll be able to get a stable and buttery smooth shot. There's also a little trick if you choose to go handheld. You can shoot in high frame rates, such as in 60 FPS or even 120 FPS. After you slow the footage down, the handshake will be less noticeable and gives you a smoother look. Alright, that's all for today's video. If you are interested in this anamorphic lens or any other accessories I've mentioned in this video, you can find the links in the description. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more iPhone filmmaking and workflow content, be sure to subscribe. Now check out my simple iPhone filmmaking setup. Have a nice day!